Springfield that first year, doing the high school rodeo. My job was down there at the rough stock end of it, and
Yes.
making sure people had their name card or their
Right, people got in.
yeah, the right people got in there with their badges. That's the word, the helpers and stuff. So this tall, handsome guy was coming down the concrete thing and I was talking to some other people, and he just kind of slid on by, and I said, "Sir, wait a minute. Do you have your badge to get in there?" He said, he turned around and said, "Well, ma'am, I didn't know I needed one to get in." And I just looked at him and said, "Oh my gosh, who was it again? I just forgot. Oh my gosh, I
I
had
was
his
trying to
name."
think. His boy was competing though, but it was
Oh, I'm sorry, and I just forgot his name.
Oh no.
he was big time.
Hold stop a minute.
Who
Yes.
was it?
Okay, so anyway, he walked past me and I said, "Sir, wait a minute, do you have a badge to get in there?" And he turned around and he said, "Well, ma'am, I didn't know I needed a badge." And I said, "Oh my gosh, you're Chris Ledoux, aren't you?" He said,
Oh
"Yes, I
my
am."
gosh.
I said, "You know what? You just go right on it."
It's okay.
You
It's
go right
okay.
ahead. Only the most famous country singer ever, probably.
Right.
So
Exactly.
I'm just going to let you introduce yourself. This is Shalina Harris. Every cowboy has a story, and these people have been absolutely amazing. We stopped out here at their place on the way to Wyoming, stopped on the way back, and I'm certain we'll be stopping again next year.
Well, I hope so. Well, I'm Marla Lacey.
And I'm Rick, her
Lacey,
husband.
my husband. We've been married for 43 years.
Congratulations.
Thank you. 2 daughters, 39 and 40. And they went through junior rodeo, high school rodeo, went on, got scholarships. The oldest one went out to Panhandle State University.
Really?
And then the other one, they're just 14 months apart.
Sweet.
And then the other one went down to University of West Alabama. Of course, we begged them to go in the same circuit. That would be really nice. They didn't do the same college.
Right.
But please go to the same circuit. But no, we had to go totally separate directions. But it was all good.
How did you get started in high school rodeo?
Well, how did we get started?
He just led up from junior rodeo, but
Yeah.
they just barrel raced around here
Yeah.
when they was little, and then they got in junior high, and we seen a junior rodeo or two, and
Down here at the college,
And,
actually. High school rodeo, yeah.
we said, "You girls can ride better than that."
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And there was a lot more, there's roping and goat tying, and
Yeah.
compared to just running barrels and poles around here, these, little barrel races and stuff. So it's just one of the things you start, and they kind of excelled at. Miranda was a good goat tire, and Kelly was a good roper, and they just excelled and went on.
Absolutely.
And with girls too, but yeah.
Right.
Did either one of you all rodeo?
No.
No, we just rode,
We-
grew up riding.
Yeah.
And, but no,
We
no
wasn't.
rodeo.
Yeah. It was unheard of when I was a
Yeah.
kid. I mean,
So I'm going to give just a little backstory because we were talking, but you all held the first National High School Finals rodeo, and Billy McCormick came down from West Virginia and saw that rodeo and was so inspired that he went back to West Virginia and started West Virginia High School Rodeo there. So look what a impression you made. Look how it's come
Full
this
circle.
full circle, and we
Right.
won't. It's
This is
20.
Yeah.
It's over 20 years now, so I don't know.
This is
that-
our favorite time of the year. We have overnighters on all year long, but we really look forward to when the high school rodeo people are coming through, or even the junior high people when they come through.
Oh yeah.
Just to visit and hear their stories and
when,
share.
when we
stories.
was in the high school rodeo, though, here in Illinois, I think we kind of bloated up from when we started. We was in for 5 years because of our girls' age and stuff, but multi-state rodeos, Illinois, a lot of the people, especially in northern Illinois, is divided in 3 districts, and the southern district had the most, the best riders, I would say, and we always wanted to do multi-state rodeos, and the northern people didn't like that, but we put them on and done them, and we would have Indiana, Kentucky, and Missouri.
Yeah, we had 3 and 5 state rodeos.
Yeah.
Wow.
That we
That's,
put
And
on.
we was
That
some
was
of the
awesome.
first to
Yeah.
do that.
that's
It was
pretty
work. It was
awesome.
fun.
It was fun. And then your kids, when they go to college, they know kids,
That
from
yes,
other.
Isn't that awesome?
opens
It's just-
doors.
it's just a
opens
big-
doors.
Big family. Big family.
It is.
Sure does.
So when you think back on your life and your girls doing rodeo, how do you feel that impacted to
tremendously.
who they are today, to who you all are
It was
today?
everything. Yeah.
Tremendously. I mean, we have people that tell us that other horse people that, well, the Lacey girls is what they call them, around here, but that they just put Mount Vernon on the map with rodeo because we were the only family here in in the Mount Vernon area, our big old area, that even did that type of thing. And our high school, which is right down the road here, of course that's a brand new one, but they really got behind the girls and supported them.
Wow.
And like we had no problems with getting out of school and
Yes.
traveling, and they always made announcements about them. It was really cool.
that
Yeah,
is-
it was really, the whole town just got behind us, and they hung banners on the interstate overpass. Good luck, Lacey girls. When we were headed to nationals and stuff. We had a good time.
So where are some of the places you all went for nationals?
We never did get to go to Joliet. We went to
Went to
Farmington,
Farmington,
New Mexico, 2 years,
twice.
or Springfield
Yeah.
a couple of years,
And
and
I think that was it, wasn't it?
maybe we were in Farmington 3 years then, because we were in there 5 years.
Yeah. I don't remember.
I can't remember either, but we never did get to go out west for
We
that.
didn't get to go to Wyoming until Kelly was in college.
Yeah, when college.
She
Wow.
made college finals. And went to
So-
Cody with it, wasn't it? Cody, Wyoming? Or Gillette? I don't remember.
No, it is.
So then both girls went on to do college rodeo.
So the oldest girl, like I said, she went to Panhandle State. I mean, graduated high school and packed her up, and she took off and never came back. She got married, has children out there in Oklahoma.
Right.
So and
That's
they do
sweet.
rodeo a little bit too out there.
I was
Yeah.
going to say, is this something your girls?
Oh,
I
yeah.
think once it's in,
Yeah.
it's in.
Don't quit.
It's you can't. It's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
You're
grease. You cannot get it off of you. It is.
Yeah.
It is in your bones.
It is. It's just a good life. It's
It's
just
a good family oriented
it makes you
organization.
That's what we
who
said.
you are.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
When you think of rodeo kids, just as a whole general, what's something that comes to your mind?
Just the responsibility that they learn and the respect that they learn, their work ethics, and then how to communicate with people and
Of all ages.
of all ages.
All ages, all types.
Yes, and help. It
Absolutely.
teaches them to help and learn different skills.
What advice to somebody who, some parents, their kids have come up to them, they're like, oh, I want a rodeo, I want a rodeo. What would you tell those parents? Besides, once you're in, you're in.
Yeah, exactly.
This past weekend, we had a situation like that, didn't we? Some friends of ours brought their, I don't know why they got there, but their daughter and son-in-law and grandson. And the grandson was 5.
I'm not sure what story you're telling, so go ahead. I'm not...
Dean and Marcy's.
Oh, over
And-
at the youth rodeo.
Yeah, and this little boy,
Yeah.
they was dummy roping and throwing the goat and taking the ribbon off his tail. And he just, he said, Mom, I want to do that. I can do that. I want to do that,
And he's just going into kindergarten. And
yeah.
he just like,
And I went
Crazy
and bought him
over
a rope and kind of showed him a little bit, which he couldn't rope, but I sent home with him, and they said, man, this is this is neat, this is good. Haven't seen a kid act like that, wanting to do something,
Yes.
and they race motorcycle racings in their family, and they got similar camaraderie, but not the same.
Yeah.
It's different responsibilities. having a
Yes.
motorcycle or having a horse. You know, so
And I think rodeo, your whole family
Exactly.
participates.
right.
Exactly. I mean, I love how you guys have just, all you're loaded up in this.
Yep.
Because this kind of reminds me of our rig that we used to have. You know, we didn't have the fancy big stuff. You know,
No.
but I always told the girls, you know what, it doesn't matter what you pull in
Yes.
with, it's what you're hauling in there.
Yes. Yes.
So,
Absolutely.
and we had to make our own stuff. We didn't have the money to go out and buy
No.
the 1D stuff. We made our own stuff. But-
He's added electric, and we've
Yeah.
put on lights, and
Yeah.
I think the best investment I ever made was the porta potty.
Oh,
Thing for $100 like that is
Right.
priceless right there.
Right.
That's a
Yeah.
gem.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Oh heavens!
We'd
didn't
get
even
to
have, we did not. Yeah, we didn't
We'd
have
get
the
to
water.
finals or Shawnee. We went to Shawnee a lot.
Yes, that's we
And,
did go to Shawnee.
You know,
Yes.
when we get there, we clean the trailer out and hang a rod up from front to back, and them girls would hang all their clothes back there.
Yeah, that's
You
what.
know,
Yeah.
And that's
I'll have
that
to
was
show
extra
you ours.
living quarters.
Yeah.
We took a stock trailer to Lincoln,
Oh gosh.
Nebraska, and stayed in it all week in Nationals. That
Oh
was
my!
awesome.
Did we
Yeah.
just put stuff up on the side?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was super.
We've done that to
They
start
put
with.
the carpet in.
Yeah.
Right. Put the carpet in the bottom. We washed it out and then put the carpet
But you know,
in the
your
bottom
kids
of it.
learn so much from that.
They do.
You know, it's a little bit inconvenient for you maybe, and you could probably do a little better, but you're teaching your kids a lesson that they'll never forget.
Exactly.
Yes.
You know, you
That
just-
the Jack has 2 speeds.
That's a good lesson.
That's
for
right.
kids, right?
Yeah.
I just noticed those trees over there have a cross. Like right in the center of all those trees is like a cross. I don't know if
trying to
y'all can
find
see
it.
it or not.
Yeah.
Like to the right of these cows. You may not
Right.
see it once the sun goes a different way. So here you are. Do you all, and obviously you're still helping with rodeos, giving kids ropes because you know it changes their lives.
Our daughter Kelly, the youngest one, she just lives about 45 minutes south of us here, and they are really. She married a bull rider. He was world champion
He
in
won the CBR in
Yes, CBR.
2010.
What's his name?
Luke Kelly.
Luke Kelly.
Yeah, so her name's
Yes.
Kelly, so it's Kelly Kelly.
She never could.
You know,
she
I
never
think
was
I
very
would-
good at spelling.
I remember her name.
you,
I remember that.
yeah.
I've
yeah.
heard of Luke Kelly though.
You're like,
Yes.
He's,
He's
Yes.
quite a guy.
he started out in junior rodeo and
Wow.
and just, yeah, he didn't go to college. He just went professional and went on. But anyway,
He's
so
pretty
they
good.
help a lot of
That is so
kids.
good.
and
They do a lot,
she
yeah.
has she's actually having a clinic next week.
Really?
Anyway, what I was going to say on the parent of advice for parenting, you and I kind of touched on this earlier, that you know you can, when it's all said and done, you can say, well, all the money that we've spent all those years, we could have actually sent them to college. You know, we could have paid for all that stuff that we're
Bolt saddles.
paying,
Yeah.
the saddles. You know, but that is not what we really got out of what you're spending your money for, because like you said, it's family. You know, we would be gone almost every weekend because we travel a lot. We'd go out of state for the high school rodeo and everything. We were gone almost every weekend. And so the girls, they had a lot of friends, and their friends were back home going to the parties, having the parties,
Yeah.
which is fine. We did too when we were growing up. But there were like
One weekend,
4 kids.
they had a wreck and killed 3 or 4 of them.
Yes.
And Miranda,
Well, anyway, they would have been there at that
she
party.
said, if we hadn't been rodeoing,
Yeah,
we'd
they
have
would have
probably
been there
been
too. You know, and with that bunch of groups, because that was their group,
Mm-hmm.
and they would have been in those cars, you know. So all the
What's
money
that
you
worth?
spend, it's so worth it because
is.
you're bonding with as a family, and you know maybe you're not having to
and then,
have lawyer
you know,
fees.
yeah,
Yeah.
a
that
lot
type
of them,
thing.
you know, spend $10,000 in lawyer fees.
Yeah.
Keeping their kids halfway clean record. And we was fortunate enough not to have to do that, you know. Which our kids wasn't saints.
Oh,
And we knew
none of
that,
our kids are.
but,
No,
you know,
no.
you're with them.
You're with them, and
Rodeo is something that you get to be with your kids.
yes.
And it's not like any other sport or anything. Your kids want you with them.
Yeah.
It's a family deal, and it's can't be replaced.
Well, just like your daughter, your grandkids, you know where they are, you know what they're doing, and you get to spend that time with them. And so often, your kids get 18 and they are gone, but how cool is it that when y'all are roping together or riding together or doing these rodeos together, you are together as family? And I think family is the most important thing. It truly is. It gives your kids that base foundation.
It does. I mean, you become such good family members with your rodeo family. I mean,
Yes.
family, it's just their family.
And it's
that's good.
like-minded people watching out for your kids.
Exactly.
This is so true.
I know if one of my kids are doing something they're not, they'll probably say,
Yes.
either you go tell your mom or I'm going. Or actually, like Mr. White, he would always, if the boys
Call 'em out,
done
yeah.
something, he said, "No, don't you be doing that." And I'd go to fuss, and he'd say, "Miss Harris, I already took care of it." I said, "All right, Mr. White," but he just treated them like his kids.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good deal.
So, how did you end up here? Horse Hotel.
Well,
Now that was way down the road.
yeah. I mean,
Did you always want this?
this place, we've always, Rick he was a horse shoeing, he shot horses, so he did come here a lot and shoe horses. And we helped ride some of this is a thoroughbred training center.
Sweet.
And so we did break some of their horses at another place where we used to live. But I don't know, I'll let you tell all that if you want. It's just,
Well, I started shoeing in the early 80s, I guess. And probably about in the late 80s, I probably come into here. And I was riding with another shoer, and he didn't like doing the trimming, so he let me start trimming the horses. And then I just started from there, from the late 80s and all through 90s and up until, I think we was trying to figure out a while ago, I think it was 2008 when we bought this. But I was always a shoer, but through that time, there was like 4 or 5 different owners of this place. About every 3 years, it would change hands. People would come in, they had a good horse or two, and they was racehorse people or trainers or whatever. That horse would run out. They would end up losing more money. It would cost them more money than what they was making, and they'd sell it. And somebody else had horses, they'd come in and do it. The guy we bought it off of, we'd worked with him for probably 15 years, haven't we?
probably.
Breaking his horses and shoeing and all that
And
stuff.
the girls rode his horses.
And,
like that,
yeah,
the thoroughbreds.
and he had this place for 3 years, and it was really run down when he bought it, but he was pretty well to do, and he replaced all the fences on the whole 120 acres
Wow.
in 3 years, and fixed everything up and got it back in good shape. And then his horses run out, and nobody except us are the only ones that have ever lived here and managed it and made it our own deal.
Yeah.
Everybody else had managers and trainers, and they lived somewhere else and just paid them, and it never would work out. And so he was ready to get out, and I don't know, things were a little bit slow on shoeing, and the girls were going to college, and well, Kelly, I guess they was out of college,
They
wasn't it?
were. She
Yeah.
just got out of college.
But
she was
because
staying.
she lived down there for
in
6 or
Alabama.
7 years,
Yeah.
and I called and talked to her. I said, "Hey," "you want to buy this place and go to breaking horses?" What we did over there, we had like 8 stalls, didn't we? 8 or 10 stalls and quarter-mile track, and it was a small deal. It was good for me. And when the girls were going through high school, they rode a lot for me and this and that. But then this here was just going to be a lot bigger on the same scale. And we already had clients and people knew us and stuff. And I just figured it would probably work.
But we
But-
knew we couldn't do it without one of
We
them or
had to
both
have-
of them to help us.
Yeah, we had to
work,
have one
to
or
work,
both of
because
them.
we wasn't going to hire a lot of people.
At that time, the slot machines in Illinois had already been voted down twice to go into racetracks. They was trying to get slot machines in the racetracks. Well, the congressman decided that if you had slot machines in there, it was going to take money away from the low income people. So they voted it down for the third time after we bought this, because I knew the next time it come up, it was going to pass.
Yeah.
And then racehorsing would blow up
Yeah.
because there'd be all kinds of money in it, you know.
Oh gosh, yeah.
And they voted it down the third time. And shit, you know.
Yeah.
And then they go and put them at every filling station and every place in town, you know. So it just is aggravating. But and since then, you know, we quit here. I'll say quit. What, 2 years ago? Didn't we? Training.
This is our first year of not really having a racehorse on the place.
But you know, and we've seen it coming. The racehorse deal, especially in Illinois, is just kept dwindling down, and it's pretty much, it's gone. If you don't have 40 head, you know, you're out. And which we had enough out-of-state clients. We had people in Kansas and Michigan and Indiana, you know, Kentucky. We had a lot of clients, out-of-state clients. We could have still done what we was doing, but Kelly took on breast cancer, and I was getting older, and I just didn't want to work that hard, so we kind of got out of it.
Yeah.
And in the meanwhile, we was already doing the overnighting, which it's really grown in the last year, I would say.
Couple of years.
We put the RV things in, and
Oh gosh, this
You
is
know, I
like
mean,
amazing.
it's
It's not too fancy, but,
Oh,
but it works.
it's not
This is very
it's
nice.
not something you can really bank on. You know, the income, we don't bank on that at all. But if it comes, okay. If not, okay. Back, 2 years ago, when I haul cattle some, and I think it was about 2 years ago, they was talking about electronic logs and all these semis.
Yeah.
And I thought then, I knew how far it was from the East Coast to here, and from here to Kansas, you know. I said, man, we're right in the middle of it. And so I put in, you know, several pins out there. We can handle 6 loads at a time,
Sweet.
you know, if we have to. But luckily, and thank God, they don't make us livestock haulers have electronic logs. You know, we can still run paper logs.
That is
And they
very
give
good.
us some time and this and that. So they're really taking care of the livestock haulers, which I'm glad. But if that would ever come back, the wrong people get in office or whatever, and that would come back, we would be in an ideal situation here to offload cattle, you know.
Right.
I mean,
No,
we
we're-
bought the place, getting back to buying it, we bought it for the property because we knew Mount Vernon couldn't go anywhere but west,
Yeah.
you know. So
So we really
we're a half mile from city limits
bought
right
it to
now,
resell it. But
you know.
now we don't really care if we sell it or not.
I know this is like this
Yeah.
is beautiful here.
Yeah.
But, I mean, there was
It's
a
nice.
time that we was making payments still on the other place and this place. It was bad, and then he broke his back,
Yeah.
and so anyway,
So what kind of, you've mentioned your daughter had breast cancer, just the change of the economics in the area, you've broke your back. How do you overcome that stuff?
hard work still. I mean,
It's
just
family
yeah. I mean,
and
just,
friends.
Yeah, it just.
Yeah.
I know a God.
Oh gosh,
God,
yeah.
it just-
Lord, yeah.
Things
Absolutely.
fall in place.
They do. They really do.
They do.
We
I-
leased it for 2 years,
That's
And-
true.
and the guy that we was making the payments for, the guy we bought it off of, is what it amounted to. And then we went to the banker where we was making the payments to get the money to buy it, and he just kind of laughed at us. He said, "You can't make those payments." He said, "What's going to happen if you break your leg or, you know, or whatever?" And I said, "We'll make it, you know."
You just do what you gotta
And
do.
it wasn't, I don't know, too long after we, I think it was after we bought it.
Yeah, it was
Kelly
after we-
Kelly broke her
Ankle.
ankle. Horse fell with her and she broke her ankle. You know, a few years later I broke my back, but you just adjust and go on, you know, it's not a big deal.
It's just no big deal. It's just life, man.
Cowboy life.
It's just the cowboy life. You just keep going.
You know what? There again, that's what even rodeo. It just makes you tough. The life that you guys live and we live, it just makes you tough, and you adapt to things.
So when we first got here, I think you were welding on a fence. I actually have a
Oh.
picture of that.
Do you really?
Yes, I do. And I just thought a farmer taking care, a rancher, whatever you want your title to be, a hardworking man, a hardworking dad,
Right.
a good husband, just taking care of
Yep.
his land.
Yep. This is
The
true.
land that God gave him, he's sitting there taking care of it.
Well, yeah. Our plan is to make some little runs out here for
Yeah, we're
overnight people too.
Some,
That's our plan.
that wire fence is just temporary, and about 20 foot on this side of it, there'll be a pipe fence going down through there, and then from there, there's going to be about probably 4 or 5 runs in this taller grass eventually. It's
That'd
probably
be
going to be a
sweet.
year or so, but
We'll see.
That'll be
that's kind of the plan that we're working towards. So
When
I
you
don't
sit and you look out over this land and you know you're working it and you're making it work, what's that feel like?
We have done that. Yeah, we've drove when we're on the back part of the property, even looking at the whole thing. It's just like I cannot believe we ended up here because it was just like I just never would have thought that we'd have ended up at this with this place years and years ago.
I told the guy we'd buy it. I went home that evening or whatever. I had $5 in my pocket.
You and I could be friends.
I was crying. I said, "How in the world do you think we're going to be?" Because we already went broke once in
Yeah.
farming, and I thought, "Oh my gosh, here we go again." But
$5 in your pocket and you go home confident.
I knew she'd pull through.
oh gosh,
What do you love most about this?
wow. About our
Just-
life.
Yes, about this life, about
Probably
offering people a
passing
place
it
to.
on. Yeah, the people you meet.
People you come across.
But
Yes.
your grandkids are fun to watch.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, they love being here. You know, they got a nice farm where they're at.
They do.
but
They got
love
indoor
being
arena.
here.
a big pond. They get to fish and hunt. And, I mean, they've got 200 acres down there, don't
Yeah.
they? And they got paradise, but them boys want to live here.
Of
They got
course.
three, two little boys and a girl.
Yeah.
She's
So,
12.
They love it.
Yeah.
for somebody who has a dream or a vision for this, what do you tell me?
That's what it takes. You know, we've had it for sale a few times when we was thinking maybe we needed to get out, but people just want to beat you down. They didn't come look at it with a vision like what we did. You know, they don't have a plan of what they could do with it or how they could make it better or anything. And that's what it takes. You've got to have a different vision, you know. I'd say somebody's going to come in here one of these days and want to build 4 warehouses here, you know, and they're going to tear all this shit down and
Yeah.
build, you know, it's going to be, the city will be out here and they're going to build warehouses or whatever, or apartment houses. I don't know, but everybody's got to have a vision.
Yeah, when we first moved here, there were Mexicans that the owner previously had working here. Some Mexicans and some other workers too, or white guys. But we were selling stuff that we wasn't going to need, you know, and I can't remember what we were selling now. But anyway, just different things that we knew we could get by without.
Yeah.
And just with our labor.
Because he only had $5.
Yeah. And this guy, he said, "How are you," that worked here, he said, "How are you going to do this? You know, how are you going to make it work? How are you going to do this or that?" I said, "Let me tell you something. You are about to see poor farmers make this place work."
I love it.
So, anyway,
I love that.
we did. But
Yeah.
there were times I didn't think that we were going to, but,
You did.
you know, you just have to have faith.
teamwork.
God will provide.
Yeah.
Teamwork.
You'll ask him.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Keep working.
I appreciate your time and just thank you for letting us come here because we made memories with our Team Virginia family coming
Good.
down here.
Good.
And that's to us, when we travel as a team, that's what it's about. Our kids out here just, they were playing tag at night, and then me and a couple of the moms, we were watching the sunset, and it was just our kids spending quality time together.
Yeah.
So thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you for believing in one another and continuing on with your dream.
Yeah, there's some nice sunsets out here for sure.
Gorgeous. I posted them online. That's
Is
how
that
I knew
right?
exactly. I was looking. I was like, "What was the name of that place?" And I saw pictures I took. I was like, "I know that's the right place."
Yes.
Tell us the name of where we are.
Rock-N4I Training Center. It's Rock-N4I because it was Rock-N4I when we had the girls and was growing up, and that's our brand. It's a Rock-N4I, like 4 Lacey's, you know, 4 of us in
Yes,
our
I
family.
love
2
that.
girls, so it's Rock-N4I. It was Rock-N4I Ranch, but when we moved here, we changed it to a training center.
Awesome. Thank you all so much.
Thank you.